away.
And our last speaker for the night, he is a history teacher, been teaching history for 6 years, coaching boys soccer for 5 years. His wife teaches chemistry, ASA, and also advises a Key Club here at Federal Way. He has 2 daughters, aged 6 and 3. Please give a warm Eagle welcome to Mr. Bryan Hamilton.
Hello? Hi. As you just heard, I'm Mr. Hamilton, and a while ago I was given the topic of family as the theme for tonight, and I thought originally, like, this is awesome because my family is great and I love my family. It should be easy. But the more I thought about it, I realized it's kind of a deceptively difficult task to come up with a message that resonates for people that don't actually know my family. So I did some reflection and I came up with this idea that all families, no matter your shape or your size or your background or who you are or where you're from, but I think all families have 2 things in common. So I'm gonna dub these the universal truths of all family. I believe that all families have 2 universal truths, just like that says. The first one is pretty obvious, and universal truth number 1 is that family shapes us, it molds us, and it makes us who we are. And if you notice the picture there, the fat one in my dad's arms, that's me. Not sure what's going on with my brother here. That's my mom, Linda, and my dad, Bruce. And I'm a pretty good example of how family shapes us, molds us, and makes us who we are. I have a sister as well. She's not in the picture yet, but 38 years ago, 39 years ago, they brought me home from the hospital to the house in Charlotte, North Carolina, and ever since then they've been molding me and shaping me and making me who I am. And the surface level stuff is easy to see, right? If you spent some time with us, you'd see that our pattern of speech and our mannerisms are very similar. Our interests are similar. We kind of look the same, right? But it does go deeper than that. The way that your family molds you, sometimes it can't be seen at first glance. And so, for instance, my dad up there. My mom and dad are the first people that I want to talk about how they shaped me. There they are. Sorry, this is a great opportunity to include embarrassing photos of them. They're 1972, I think, and then this year. My dad, he taught me work ethic. He taught me never to attach my name to something that I was not extremely proud of. And he taught me to hold high expectations for myself and not worry about the expectations of others, because while it was okay not to be the best, it has never been okay not to try your best. And that's what my dad taught me, and that has shaped me and molded me, and it's made me who I am. His work ethic has done that for me. My mom taught me compassion. She taught me that kindness and compassion are critical virtues that should be practiced daily, because you never understand the impact that a kind word or a simple gesture can have on another human being. You don't know if that's going to alter the course of their day or change the trajectory of their lives. And maybe that seems like it's overstating it, but it's not. She taught me that. And she also taught me to love a good book. My mom is an avid reader, and if she finds something that she likes, it will show up in the mail at my house a couple weeks later, and it will be dog-eared and tattered, and for all you avid students out there, it will be annotated, because my mom writes in the margins. Yeah. And she doesn't do it for a good grade. She does it because she wants to understand the deeper meaning of a text. And that curiosity and that love of learning, that has shaped me and molded me and made me who I am today. That's me in the middle. My sister's joined the picture now here as well. And my older brother, his name is Garrett, he taught me loyalty. The year after he graduated college, his best friend died of heart failure. Excuse me. When I talked to him on Sunday, it was Mother's Day, and he had just gotten off the phone with Anna Hewitt. And Anna Hewitt is not our mother, it's his best friend's mother. That's a call that he makes every Mother's Day, birthdays, anniversaries, and a couple other times a year. And if he's anywhere near the town of Greenville, South Carolina, where the Hewitts live, he stops by to pay his respects, because it is critical to him that his family knows that their son's life meant something. his loyalty has shaped me and molded me into who I am today. And while I hope to God I never have to practice that the way that he has, it's taught me something. My sister, what I learned from her is that life's journey to happiness is not a linear one. Math wizards out there, it's not y equals mx plus b, right? We don't start here and happiness is here. Did I get that right? Okay, good. Social studies, you know. I think so often we're led to believe that we graduate high school, we go to college, we fall in love, we get married, we have children, and we buy a big house in the suburbs, and that's it, right? That's the pattern that life is supposed to take. And to her credit, she has achieved all of those things, but man, were there some roadblocks along the way. Mental health struggles, college transfers, heartbreak. These things are real, and these impacts that they have on us, we don't ever see them coming. But what I learned from her is it's important to march forward and seek your own happiness no matter where it is. That is a lesson that has gotten me through some struggles of my own, and it has shaped me and molded me into who I am today. So that's it. That's there's a more recent photo. They grew up nicely. My brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad, they shaped me and they molded me into the person that I am today, and so that's it. That's how I got here. That's what made me who I am, or at least it's what started it. But what I didn't realize is that there was more family out there for me that I just hadn't met yet. Which brings me to universal truth number 2, which is that families constantly grow and change. So universal truth number 1, in my book at least, is that family molds us, shapes us, and makes us who we are. And truth number 2 is that our families grow and change. So in a sense, we constantly grow and change as a result of our families. I'll just say this, if I had gone to high school at Federal Way, many of you would not have known me. And if you saw me now, you certainly wouldn't recognize me. And that's because I was shaped and molded by these guys behind me from, let's see, over here that's John, Nate, Travis, Josh, Billy, and me. I'm on that side, in case you can't tell. And yeah, they inspired me to get out of my shell. They inspired me to seek leadership positions. They inspired me to be more open and outgoing, and it changed the course of my life. It really did. I would not be here right now if it were not for these guys. And I would love to tell you more and more, but in the interest of time, I'll just say that that my family grew my freshman year in college. My family grew. My family grew again as a junior in college. I met this girl. Yeah, she was a freshman. Yeah. We can call her Mrs. Hamilton. Oh, and my family grew pretty much the day that I met her because, well, we didn't make it official for a decade or so. She was family from the get-go because I learned from her that love, that, you know, all that drivel that you hear about the power of love, that stuff is real, right? It's real. And if you're like, well, I don't know if it's real or not, it's real because you'll find out when you get in a car in Seattle and you drive to Walla Walla for 5 hours, and then you get there and you stay for like 4 hours and you drive back 5 more hours just to be at work on time on a Tuesday morning. That's what love does to you, right? And it is real. It is real. So, yeah. Thank you. The reason I know it's real is because in Mrs. Hamilton I found someone who's kind and caring and compassionate and loving, and she is driven and dedicated and funny and incredibly smart and so much more organized than I am. And I would not be here today without her either. So you find this family in life that you didn't know existed yet, because your family constantly changes and grows. And if you haven't found your family yet, if you're in this building as a student and you haven't found them, hold on, because they're out there, and you will find them. I'm a firm believer that our families exist for all of us, and we will meet them. And for some of you, that's one person. For some of us, it's a large group. But your people are out there, and have faith, you will find them. And they will, as universal truth number 1 implies, change you and mold you and make you into who you are. On May 1st of 2013, my family grew again, quite literally, this time, with the introduction of Eleanor. She's 6 now. She was born about 2 o'clock, and at, I'd say 2:01, I knew that my life was changed forever, right? She instantly shaped and molded me. When you hold a child in your arms, you come to this realization that you understand your purpose in life better than ever before. There is no more, I want to be a better version of myself for me. Now it's about, how can I make sure that I am prepared to have this child have everything, that no matter what I do, she will not want for anything. And so, before she could say a word, she molded me and shaped me and changed me into who I am today. So my family grew again that day. 3 years later, March 4th, 2016, my family grew again. This is Caroline. That's a pretty standard look for her these days. And so while she can be challenging, to say the least, she has molded me and shaped me and changed me into who I am today as well. So, pardon me. I have this family that is given, I have this family that is chosen, and I have this family that is created. And while we don't get to choose the family that we grow up with, we do get to choose the family that we find later in life. And so I have this question. If you know that family will shape you and mold you into who you are, and you know that you get to choose them, who should you choose? And for me, the answer is simple. We must choose to surround ourselves with people who inspire us. Choose to surround yourselves with people who bring out the best in you. Choose to surround yourself with someone who makes you laugh harder than ever before, love more deeply than you knew possible. Be with someone who inspires you to read a book or push your physical or academic capabilities to the furthest level that they can. Be with somebody who makes you want to learn to cook or climb a mountain or run a marathon or whatever. Choose these people, because we have this opportunity, this choice. Don't choose people that get dragged down by negativity. Don't choose people that look for drama in every aspect of their life. Surround yourselves with people that inspire you, because they're going to change you. They're going to mold you and shape you into who you are. That's universal truth number one, right? According to me. So with that, I kind of came up with this formula, so to speak. You may want to write this down. It's pretty complicated. This is how I choose my family. If you're smarter than me, if you're more talented than me, if you're more resilient than me, if you're funnier than me, if you're more athletic than me, or more well-read than me, or more interesting, or more charismatic, or more inspiring, or you're better than me in some way, shape, or form, I want you in my life, and I want you in my family, because you are going to shape me and mold me and make me into something different and better. Which brings me to my final point. Oh, I kind of just wrote it, so. Federal High School. Federal High School is a part of my family now. This is my 7th year in the building, because I did my student teaching here and a paternity leave for Mr. Grotsky. I covered him. My wife has been here for close to 9 years now, and we love this place, but it's not always the easiest school to teach at. There are places where the job is simpler. There are places where the effects of poverty and the lack of educational resources don't hit students quite as hard. And while my job would be easier if I taught somewhere else, my life would be less fulfilling and less meaningful. Because, you see, I've decided to follow my own advice and surround myself with people who inspire me, who bring out the best in me. And I know I can't see you very well because the lights are really bright in your eyes up here, but I know that you're out there. The students especially, you can't even begin to imagine the ways that you have changed me and molded me and shaped me into who I am. Your humor, your intelligence, your drive to succeed, your humility, your passion for everything, your youthful exuberance has made me who I am today, and I could not be more grateful to stand here and say that I'm a member of your family and you are part of my family. And so with that, I'd just like to say thank you for this opportunity. My name is Bryan Hamilton, and I'm proud to be a Federal Eagle.